Hey, welcome back to the Wilson Family Podcast, episode 2, where we hope to inspire you in faith, family, and business. Today I have my wife, my lovely co-host, my confidant, my everything. We've been married 18 years, going on 19 years this year. We have 3 beautiful girls. We are full-time entrepreneurs, so y'all know that now. And we are the owners of Everlasting Picture Studios. So today's topic is everything you need is in the house.
Everything you need is in our house.
It's in our house.
Alright, everything you need is in the house.
It's in their house.
Okay. So, do you know everything you need is in your house? Do you know what gifts are in your house? So, the reason we came up with this topic was because when I started photography about 13 years ago, I just thought it was going to be simple as taking pictures, right? And just taking pictures, and then it became, God started blessing my business and started becoming more and more. So then at this point, I'm doing scheduling, invoicing, contracts, consultations, what else? Editing the pictures.
Right. But most people don't even know that you do all that behind the scenes. Most people think that you take the pictures.
That's it.
And then you send it to them directly. They don't know about the time that's spent behind scenes, editing pictures, sending invoice, setting up meetings, putting stuff together. If they say, hey, I want to do a birthday shoot, I want this look, that you have to purchase all that stuff and go out and get the stuff to make that vision for them.
Right, so I am that person. I didn't know all that. I signed up for a whole lot, y'all. I just thought I was taking pictures and people were happy about it. So I began to get a little overwhelmed. Now, Lord, I know you didn't bring me this far and give me all this and not to have the help that I need in these different areas. And it became very hard. So I was praying to God, and He led me to 2 Kings chapter 4. Verse 1 through 7.
Yes.
I'm going to read you guys it real quick.
All right.
Like I said, 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 1 through 7. One day a widow of a member of the group of prophets came to Elijah and cried out, "My husband who served you is dead, and you know how he feared the Lord. But now a creditor has come, threatening to take my 2 sons as slaves. What can I do to help you?" Elijah asked. "Tell me, what do you have in your house?" "Nothing at all, except a flask of olive oil," she replied. And Elijah said, "Borrow as many empty jars as you can from your neighbors and friends. Then go into your house with your sons and shut the door behind you. Pour olive oil from your flask into the jars, setting each one aside when it's filled." So she did as she was told. Her sons kept bringing jars to her, and she filled one after another. Soon every container was full to the brim. "Bring me another jar," she said to one of her sons. "There aren't any more," he told her. And then the olive oil stopped flowing. When she told the man of God what had happened, he said to her, "Now sell the olive oil and pay your debts, and you and your sons will live on what is left over." Quick googly boogly.
So, you know what I got out of that?
What?
She instantly became an entrepreneur when he told her to sell them jars of oil.
Yes, so we can take this a whole bunch of different ways. I guess what I got out of it, for one thing is, when I asked you guys, do you know what gifts were in your house? When I say gifts are defined as a natural ability or a talent. When I say in your house, I'm saying in your body, surrounding you, in your home. I believe that God has gifted us everything that we need, right? Everything you need is in the house. We just read about this where this woman went to him and said she needed help.
She said she ain't had nothing.
She ain't had nothing. And when I looked at the definition of nothing, nothing means no single thing of no value.
Wow, that's powerful.
So nothing, I tell you guys all the time, you'll be like, I don't have anything or nothing or something like that. Nothing is a powerful word. It means nothing. She had nothing at all of value in her home. So a couple things when I read that stuck out to me was, the first thing is, he told her to go in the house and shut the door and do this. To me, when he says go in the house and shut the door, like, that's like getting in your quiet place.
Okay.
No distractions. Focus, right? That's how we should be. That's how we should posture ourselves when we're looking for our gifts or to see our value, to get in a quiet place. You can't hear from God with a whole bunch of noise going on. Get in your quiet place to hear from Him. Another thing that we saw in there was when she talked about, when he actually said, "What is in your house?"
What's in it?
Her answer was nothing, right?
Correct.
So he saw something that she did not see. So how many times in life, and you can attest to this, how many times where you think that you have nothing and other people see in you what you don't even see in yourself.
But you know, it takes that sometimes for people to understand that, because I was having a conversation with a young lady the other day, and I was saying, you're very talented, and she was saying that she only likes doing her gift for family, and I'm saying, but God gave you a natural talent gift.
Right.
Use it, and that will set you free. That, I mean, if you find joy in doing that, that's the God-given gift and talent that He gave you, but also to bless others. And even if you don't charge, you always taught me the bartering system. Sometimes you don't have money, or people don't have money, but they have a gift or talent that you could use, maybe not right then, but later on down the line. And it's pretty much, I scratch your back, you scratch my back type deal.
Right.
So, continue. You were saying she said she only had a jar of oil.
Which she really felt like had no value, had nothing. She actually said she had nothing except. How many times do we have accepts around us and we don't think it's nothing, but it's really something big, and we just haven't taken the time to actually see what it really is. So, like in your instance, I know growing up, since we've been together, since we've been 15, my mom would always tell you, and everybody around us would tell you what?
I'm good with my hands.
You good with your hands. He'd be like, what? No, Stanley wanted to go work for other people, do other things. My mom would always tell me you good with your hands, because when we got together, you were putting car audio systems in everybody's car in high school. I don't know, were you doing in middle school?
Nope, I learned in middle school.
Okay. We were like, man, you're so gifted with your hands. He would make stuff for me. Stanley would like take stuff apart and put stuff back together. He wanted to build his own everything. Anything that I said I need, he said, I'll build it. And
Still to this day, I do that.
Yes. Sometimes, but let's call it professional, y'all. But he gets offended when I say that. But when I say that your gift was in your hands, and he would always say, no, that's not it. But look what you end up doing as your profession. What did you become?
I became an electrician.
And what did you do?
Trade. And I used my hands to do it. And then I end up teaching it. And then I moved on.
Yeah, so, but still to this day, you're still gifted in your hands. And a lot of times people see stuff in us that we can't see in ourselves. And it may take somebody else to look at you and pull something out of you that we don't see in ourselves. A lot of times people are like, man, you this and that. People used to tell me all the time that I was great in pictures. And I'm like, no. But when we
was.
No, it was. This gift was when you asked me. I think you asked me earlier. When did you start photography? Obviously, I couldn't see. I didn't have enough sense. My mom brought it to my attention the other day. She said, "Man, my stepfather." She was like, "He would be proud of where you're at today." And I said, "Why do you say that?" She said, "Because he had to buy you a disposable camera every day. Like every field trip I went on. I'm talking about elementary school, middle school, and high school. I had to have a disposable camera. I wanted to take pictures." I used to, when we started dating, I used to take you to where?
Right.
I used to take you to Walmart.
Walmart. And I was like, who develops this much film?
Yes, and like I was doing that, but I didn't understand that this was my gift. And they were actually sewing into my gift and seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself. It was just a hobby and something that I enjoyed doing.
It just so happens that, you know, your father did it, your grandfather did it, and it just grew from there.
But it was a gift, and that's when it comes to kids, just a sidebar, anybody around you tell you the truth, but especially our kids growing up today, because sometimes we try to shut them up and bottle them up and, we can't do this, you can't do that. But a lot of times these kids, you have no idea who you have under your roof.
You're right, because there's people that's good with Legos who are the best engineers.
Right, and you see them putting stuff together. I had a young man come to the studio, and his mom was just showing me. She was like, "Man, he spends all his time." Remember, he was making
anime.
He was taking Legos. He's in high school now, so she feels like that was beyond his capacity, his age. But he was putting these things together, and what I saw when she showed it to me, how she thought it was nothing to me, I was like, man, when my mind was blown, I called you in the room and said, "Stanley, look at this." She showed me he had been moving his Lego around and videotaping himself, and it was turning into animation.
Yeah, short film animation, yeah.
But he was doing the long way because he didn't have the resources like Adobe or the different animation programs to do it. But lo and behold, he was doing animation.
And he was doing it with an iPhone. Yeah, remember that? And he was doing a low-grade iPhone.
But that goes to show you God placed gifts in us. Please you see stuff your kids might be interested in music. They just want to play music, or they love to draw, or they like to sing. Even if they get in trouble for talking, some of the biggest people, I follow a motivational speaker by the name of Les Brown. A lot of people may know of.
Right.
And he used to get in trouble all the time for talking. then he gets paid to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but most of your class clowns who get in trouble in class become comedians.
Yeah, so you never know what somebody's gift is. So actually tap into what you see your children interested in, and we try to do that with our children.
And others as well. I mean, there's people who are. I mean, I have a friend who was a mechanic. He's been working on stuff ever since we was little. And if I have a problem now, I'll call him today and be like, hey, man, I need your help.
And the young man we just spoke about from the studio, we end up getting him help and sending him to art school. And I followed his mom to see where he's at in life. And from my understanding, he's doing a great job. He was going to get ready to go into the military, do something that he really did not want to do. And lo and behold, that was his gift.
Right.
And we have to tap into our gifts. Another part that we saw that where she said, where she actually started to tap into that gift. So all along, she had what she needed in her house. She just didn't realize it. And Elijah saw that you have this in your house. Now use it, right?
Right.
When she actually started to pour that oil, what happened?
It overflowed.
It overflowed. So that's what I'm saying. It's a quote we always use. We saw on the episode of one of T.D. Jake's sermons where he says, if you work it,
it'll work.
If you work it,
but you gotta work it.
You gotta work it.
You gotta work it.
So
I mean, what you have to work it and know and believe and trust that it will work.
Yeah.
It might not seem like it now. It might not seem like it 5 years from later. But if you continue to work it, it will work. And people don't understand. It's not. Most people see you become a YouTuber overnight. Nothing that is good starts and jumps that quick. Now, sometimes you have that, but most of the times it takes time because you have to grow into it.
Well, you're gonna have to. Sometimes you're gonna fail.
Yes,
of course. It's not gonna be the first time, so don't get weary in well doing. But the biggest thing when she actually tapped in to what her gift was, is her gift was the oil, and she had no idea all the time it was in there. She wearing herself to death, thinking she's about to lose her 2 kids to slavery. But her gift was right there, and it was getting ready to make room for her, because the Bible says your gift will what?
Make room for you.
Your gift will make room for you. So when she actually tapped into her gift and started pouring, it says that the oil was just flowing. It kept flowing. That means that he's going to bless you abundantly once you tap into that gift that he gave you. And it kept flowing to the point where she had to turn around and ask her son, give me another jar. And he's like, Mom, we have no more. Right?
So let's put a spin on it real quick. So let's say this. She was making those jars of oil and she was selling them. So now she's an entrepreneur. How many other people that she encountered that might have put her in a different situation that she needed more oil, more jars? So that could have put her in a whole different realm or room of people and exposed her to bigger and better.
Yeah. So honestly, she did become an entrepreneur, because at the end of the day, when at the end of the story, he tells her to what? Sell it, right?
Right.
And he said, once she sells it, go live on the rest. And I was like, good, googly moogly. Like, how many times are we overlooking that one thing that we have right here and we're not paying attention to? And this is the one thing that's going to excel us.
Right.
But we so busy thinking that it's not of value because I want to go do this or go work for somebody else and build somebody else's dream. And I tell people, I mentor all the time, and I mean no harm, because we all have to have a business, whether you're going to work for somebody, you're going to work for yourself, or whatever your gift is. Because your gift doesn't always have to be entrepreneurship, don't get me wrong. Your gift may be to help with somebody else's business, whatever the case may be. Everybody's not an entrepreneur, but my thing is, when I'm working for somebody else in my gift, and that's where I was at, I'm building somebody else's dream, right?
Right.
So whatever, I can give different instances, a lot of examples, but if you go work for somebody else and it's their dream, you're building whoever you work for, you're building their dream. That was their dream, and now they're using us to manifest and to bring their dream up further. Right. So I want you guys to, no matter whatever your gift is, whatever your talent is, to actually tap into it.
Right.
Sometimes people will ask, how do I know my gifts? And I was trying to search for different ways. How can you know your gifts? So a couple ways I came up with was to pray and ask God to show you, to get in a quiet place like she did so you can hear, turn off the distractions, turn off social media, get by yourself, spend some time by yourself, ask others what they see in you. For me, that's a big one, because what y'all saw in me, I was like, no, like, I'm gonna keep doing this. And then everybody, even when I got ready to quit my job to do this full time, everybody was like, it's about time. I was wondering. And I'm like, are y'all crazy? Like, this was the furthest from my imagination, but y'all saw something more in me than I saw in myself. So a lot of times people can see what you can't see. There's a sermon T.D. Jakes preached years ago, and it's called something to the nature, if you knew who you were.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time, man, if you can see what I see in you, and I look at you like I tell you, you're good with your hands.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at my oldest brother, oh my God, he can draw, he can sing, he can dance, he can, I mean, you name it. There's so many gifts and talents in one person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stuff that, like, he can teach himself music, he can play it right back. There's things that he's just gifted with it.
Right.
And for myself, I didn't take photography like a formal education in photography. It was literally a gift.
Right.
It's like, here it is. Now, work it.
Right.
Right?
So, people have to understand that your gift will make room for you. And you have to work it. And the only way you get better at it is if you work it.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't jump behind a camera and say, I'm a photographer.
Right.
For me, I have to have training, formal training.
Right.
And so she sat down with me to have that formal training. For her, it became natural.
Right.
I mean, there was certain things that she had, as far as when it came to editing, she might have to research. But that's with any business. How do you get in business without doing any research?
Right.
How do you know who your competitors are?
Right, but you have to pay attention. Another way you can look at it is, what do you like doing in your free time? What do you actually enjoy doing? Like, when you have a bad day, what do you enjoy doing? Mm-hmm. What makes you happy? Sometimes people, I paid attention, they really can cook. I got a couple friends, I hope y'all watching this, that they can cook their behinds off, and they do it like afterward, and then they go do it for like different stuff that we have, like personal things, but they can cook, and you know this is your talent. You know this is your talent, but you think, no, this is what I do for fun. This is what I do for fun, but this is your talent. If you tap into that thing, I'm telling you, just make sure you just molding this thing. Nobody is made the same. Each person is different, and God gave each person something. Almost, I was giving him the example of like Build-A-Bear. I don't know if y'all know about Build-A-Bear. When they make the bears, they put something special in each bear. That's the way that he did us. So each one of us has a special gift, and we just got to tap into it.
That is correct. But like you were saying, if you do your job and you like what you do, it's never a job. It's never work.
Yeah. So the things, just to recap, I wrote down the reasons how you can find your gifts. Like I said, pray and ask God to show you. Get in a quiet place so you can hear. Cut out the distractions. Ask others what they see in you. Get to know you. Take time to get to know you. What do you like doing? And what actually makes you happy? We're going to get ready to close it up. Do you have anything else before I close it up that you like to say?
I got one thing I like to say. Now, when you say get into your quiet place, is that a specific place, or is that just a zone you get in?
For me personally, my quiet space, I have made a area where I like, don't bother me.
Okay.
This is my quiet space. I read a lot of motivational books and listen to a lot of podcasts. So that's my quiet space. I've created a corner. This is my space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the time where you're going to have to shut yourself off from your family, from the phone, from social media, from anybody in the house, and just take time to... I journal a lot and I read a lot. That is my time just to get quiet, because I can't hear with all the distractions. We're in a very noisy world at this point. It's not like it used to be. You got social media, you got phone bingings and things. We didn't used to have all that growing up. We used to have a house phone on the wall, no social media, just a regular TV, just a lot. So get in that space, and your space could be your closet, for God's sake. It could be an area in your house. It could be just go take a ride. Sometimes we go take a ride at Starbucks. Right. That brings me, before we close up, to another point that I forgot to say. When I read that 2 Kings chapter 4, what did I do with us?
You took us all to the studio and made us sit down.
So,
and you had a meeting with us.
I know you're going to say, well, you was right there in the house. When I read it, I was so convicted. I was like, oh my God. So instantly, I called Stan and I called the kids. I said, get a notebook and a pen. Said, we're getting ready to leave. And I took them to the studio. That was a place outside of our house. So even though we say everything you need is in the house, there are distractions in your home. And I knew if we had stayed home, we wouldn't have been able to focus. I know I wouldn't have been able to focus. I'd be thinking about dishes and clothes, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. This need to be done. So to get in a place where I could think clearly and talk to them clearly and not be distracted, I took them to the studio.
So you had to isolate.
Yeah, I had to isolate us from anything. And I told everybody to put the phone up, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. I just wanted y'all. And I sat down and talked to you guys. I read you the same scripture that I read you guys. And each one of you guys gave me your opinion and gave me what you got out of it. Right?
Right.
And I told him what I got out of it. What I got out of it was everything that I had been asking God for, He had already provided it to me. It was in our house. I was overlooking it. When I kept complaining, saying that I didn't have this and I didn't have that, it was right here. I just had not tapped into it. And as soon as I tapped into it and saw the resources that He had already provided me and all the gifts that are in my house already, we started to overflow. Coming up, you guys will see how we started to use everything that was in our house. So we're going to get ready to close up.
And to reveal what we have in our house, I have here.
Hey, I'm Michaela.
Hey, Michaela, what do you do for Everlasting Picture Studios?
I'm the executive administrator here for Everlasting Picture Studios.
Awesome. And then what is that entitled?
I do the scheduling, I do the contracts, I do invoicing, I basically do all about all the communications. And I also reply back to you guys here on the podcast.
Awesome, awesome. So tell me a fun fact about yourself.
Oh man, a fun fact about me. Oh, I want to be a civil rights attorney.
Awesome. So you're just going to be a lawyer and out here fighting justice, huh?
We definitely need it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
All right. So what's your name?
My name is Micaiah.
Okay, Makai. So what do you do at Everlasting Picture Studios?
Let me tell you, I am the creative director of digital media.
Okay. So what does that role entails?
Well, I do the promotional ads, the reels, and the behind the scenes for both the podcast and the Everlasting Picture Studios.
Awesome. So tell me a little fun fact about yourself.
Ooh, that's a good one. Fun fact about me, I graduated high school at the age of 16.
16?
Yes, and now I'm entering my college year of my sophomore year of college at 17.
Awesome. Well, we just want to thank you for all the hard work you do at Everlasting Picture Studios and at the Wilson Podcast.
Of course, you're welcome.
All right, so tell me your name.
Mackenzie Wilson,
And what do you do at Everlasting Picture Studios?
studio and photographer assistant.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about that role?
I help the photographer set up and break down studio sets and help with equipment.
Okay, that sounds good, girl. All right now. So tell me a little fun fact about yourself.
I love producing music.
You produce music.
Yes.
So what do you do when you produce music?
I put different beats and different sounds of singing and stuff like that and add them together to combine to make a sound.
All right now. Well, I just want to tell you we appreciate you for all your hard work you do at Everlasting Picture Studios, all right?
Thank
Yeah, you're welcome.
So we're going to get ready to close up. Les Brown is one of my favorite people to listen to. If you haven't listened to him before, please do.
And Nicole, what's her name? Nicole Nichols?
Yes.
Lisa Nichols, I'm sorry.
Yes, Lisa Nichols. I'm sorry, she's another. But I have a quote from Les Brown that I have read and I really like. I hope it blesses you guys. It says, "The graveyard is the richest place on earth because it is here that you will find all hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, and all because someone was too afraid to take the first step, keep with the problem, or determined to carry out their dream." And that was by Les Brown. So I could see that when I read that. Like he said, the richest place is the cemetery. Because there you'll find all the dreams that nobody ever
People
did
who
when
never
that-
executed, huh?
There you go. So
Wow. I hope
don't
that
take your
empowers you.
dream.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I hope that empowers you to live out your dream, to do what God gave you, and use that as motivation.
Yeah.
That is the fuel to your fire.
So I encourage you guys, don't take your dreams with you to the grave. Actually manifest them right here while you're here. Don't take nothing. I say don't take nothing with you. When you get there, you have no regrets. You laid it all out. It's done, right? I'm going to leave you guys with this question. What if the thing or gift you consider to have no value is your olive oil? And if you actually tapped into it, you will live the rest of your life off it.
That's powerful.
Like I said, last time keep going on, guys, but literally, when she tapped into her gift that she had all along, she was able to live off it for the rest of her life. He said, go sell it, and you will live off it. You and your sons go live off it, off the rest of your life.
But you know what got me tripping? It was in the house the whole time.
We just don't see that we have it. So, we're asking you, what is in your house?
What is in your house?
Pay attention. And if you guys are tuning in with us next Thursday at 7 o'clock,
Yes.
our next topic is going to be
Exposing our business.
Exposing our business.
Yeah, exposing our business.
You gonna tell it all?
Yeah, it's a tell-all.
We gonna expose our business, y'all. So we will see you guys next Thursday here,
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe our Facebook and YouTube channels.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
All right, see you guys.
All right.